We're back outdoors with another video. My spring, summer, and fall setup. So right here we have a loop, and then on this right here we have a prusik knot that when you pull that top that I showed you, that little knot, you pull that down, it loosens of course I got a plane, it loosens the two loops on the back where it can go onto your belt, and I usually carry it scout carry, but and today I'm wearing pants because it was raining earlier, so that's why I got pants on. But typically, when it's spring, summer, maybe the beginning of fall when it's still warm, before it starts to get a little chilly at night and chilly during the day, I'm going to always have shorts on, and that's why I have like a lanyard that I could put into this and make a necklace. So that's the first big change that I made for my winter setup. Full tang knife in my pack, and that's gonna stay in my pack. Um, I understand people like to carry stuff on their belts and stuff like that. I get that. If I'm wearing pants and I'm working and I'm gonna go do something, then of course, yes, have what you can need on you. But typically, I find myself if I'm gonna go do something, even when I had pants on in the winter, I'd keep my knife in my backpack, take it out, leave the casing there, go do what I'm gonna go do, chop down a tree, find dry material. I don't really find myself chopping or sawing things that are way too big or doing a lot of bushcraft work. Um, Even with the natural shelters that I can build or have built, chop poles, saw poles that are dead, obviously, and make whatever I'm gonna make, like that teepee hut or wiki up hut that I built. I sawed whatever I sawed, chopped whatever I chopped, and then put my tool back in the casing and laid it near my pack, on my pack, or in my pack. When temperatures are getting warmer and it's going to be a little bit hotter, I'm going to be in shorts more often than not. Okay. I'll even be barefoot. This will probably be my last time being in boots and pants as temperatures are getting warmer. If it wasn't going to rain today, I would be in shorts and Crocs. This cold breeze that I have right here is not even that bad. I'll be in shorts and Crocs with probably a wool sock or a cotton sock and a wool sock as a backup. Outside and work our way in. The first thing I have is a tarp. All right, just a natural tarp. I've set this up many, many times, and the reason why I'm bringing this tarp is because if I get a really chilly night and I don't want to, or if I just don't want to sleep in the hammock and I want to sleep on the ground, I can still make the configuration that I love where I'm almost enclosed by it, or just a Ranger Diamond, or just an A-frame or a lean-to. I can make anything that I want with this tarp and be comfortable still if I choose to without having to sleep in my hammock. Okay, so there's a lot of versatility within this pack, especially when it comes to shelter and sleeping. So there's a tarp. I'm not going to set this up because it's not raining. This basically only goes up whenever it's raining or I'm in an area where I have no shade. This will go up. So within this little sack, which is the sack that tarp came in, I rolled that up and used this sack for another purpose, and it was my repelling sack. Okay, so in fall, late fall, when hunting season begins and when wintertime comes around, I like to do a lot of tree climbing. I like to do a lot of rappelling just for fun and practice. And I like to do a lot of mountaineering stuff. So this would be my rope system, my rope kit. My hammock will come out, and I won't use the hammock at all. and late fall, winter. So I'll take that hammock out. But whenever spring rolls around, early spring, like right now, before it gets spring, the hammock comes in because it's not cold temperatures at night where I have to um, try to get as much warmth by sleeping in an area that is less space that I have to fill up, even with my own body heat. So the hammock comes back in, and my repelling system gets put out. So my repelling system, all I have was the webbing and that one carabiner that can easily go in the pack itself, and then I have just a repelling rope that I throw over my shoulder. Okay, so it's not real crazy that I don't have space or whatever. I do have space, but first thing we're gonna do, take a look at is carabiners. I got two of them. It's a twist lock mechanism, so I have to twist it to open it, and then so it's never gonna come undone because it has to be twisted first, rotated to the right before you can open it. So that's locked in. If that don't twist, that ain't coming off. These are not for repelling, okay? Because if you're repelling the wrong way and that rope can twist it and you can come undone. So these are not for repelling. These are just for my hammock setup. Or when I'm hunting, I would make a tether. I'll have a prusik knot on one end and then a fisher knot on the other, which the fisher knot doesn't move. I'll wrap it around the tree and I'll tie the end to the prusik knot and then I'll attach that onto me. And that'll allow me to adjust how high I want to go up and down on the rope if I'm tied to the tree for hunting purposes. These don't get used at all when I'm repelling. So the next thing I have is cordage. This is important because I lost both of the pieces, the ropes that tied to the tree that went to my hammock. I lost both of them. So I made another one, which is also my tether rope when it comes to hunting. And then I lost the other piece that went to my hammock, so I have to make another one. We're about to do that right now before we get into the pack. Next thing is my hammock. Besides looking into what's in the kit, let's actually set up the kit because I can make a kit all day, but if I don't build my kit, use my kit, test my kit, whenever I go out into an actual situation where I'm far from any help at all, far from a campsite, and I go to do some things that may not work, and then I get rained on or snow comes in. I've has I've had that happen many times, and one time I almost had hypothermia because of it. I couldn't feel my toes. I could barely go like that, touch my pinky and my thumbs together. I could barely do it. So I learned the hard way is always before you go do anything, always set up your gear at least twice or at least once. Get everything the way you want it. So when you get to a spot, you can set it up. You have no problems. You ain't got to figure nothing out. You make sure that when you pull everything out, that is exactly where it needs to be. It's exactly what you have. Okay, you're not lacking anything. You're not lacking any resources. You have everything that you need, and you put everything back into your kit. Now, when you grab that kit to go, make sure again, pull everything out, make sure you have everything, make a checklist, make sure you got everything. Maybe try to set everything up again one more time so you're comfortable with it, especially if you're new to this kind of thing. Because again, I've had hypothermia, or I was very close to hypothermia. I was wearing cotton everything. I was wearing a boot that was not made for um, winter at all. It actually had holes on the sides right here that was ventilation for summer footwear, and it was not waterproof at all. So I could not feel my toes. They were tingling and they were getting numb. Again, I couldn't feel my hands. They were tingling also, and then they were burning like a sting. And then I couldn't go like this, pinky and my thumb together. And I still had to make a fire. Someone else was with me, and I had a small little puppy, so there was two people that I had to look out for. All right, and it snowed, and I didn't know it was gonna snow. I wasn't prepared. I didn't plan. I didn't even look at the weather. Um, so yeah, it may not snow in the city, but it's more likely gonna snow in the mountains. Okay, so I learned the hard way. Don't repeat the same mistakes that I've made. Test your gear, practice, train, set up your situation right here, get a fire going. I have experience now, okay, but that doesn't mean that something bad can't happen. So I always, no matter if I know 5 times already, like I know that what I have is in here, I'm still going to check what I have that is in here, that I'm not missing anything, and I'm going to use my stuff, even though I've used it 1,000 times. I'm still going to use it as a safety net because I do not want to be in the same position thinking that I know it all and then find myself in a situation where I'm missing something, okay? Or yeah, I'm missing something or I don't know how to do something. So you just get the short end, pull it down, go around it one time. And you want this to be kind of big because you're going to create, right now, it'll go easily into this loop, right? When I put it around here, it'll go easily through because there's no knot on it. But when I put a knot in it, because I'm going to need a knot, I want to make, and if that wasn't big enough, I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger, just in case. And I don't want to cinch anything down yet because I want to untie the knot easily if it's not big enough. And by the looks of it, this is probably bigger than the other one. So I'm going to use this one. We're going to go in here. Okay, so what this acts as is those two pieces that come with the hammock already. I lost them, like I said. So this is the replacement. This tether rope. You want to get. I've used paracord many times, and I've busted my ass multiple times. I'm going to burn the end on both of them. I don't know what I'm going to use the other one for. Maybe a backup. I got it set up. Now what I'll be doing is just a fleece for spring and then a fleece for fall. Summer, I'm going to have a hoodie, or I'll still have this guy. It depends because summer, again, when you're in elevation, you still have cold temperatures. When it's a rainy day, rainy, cloudy day, you're near water, you got high winds going in. It don't matter if it's 70, it may feel like 10 to 20 degrees chillier depending on where you are. Elevation, how high you are, how, if it's raining, how windy it is, you're next to water. That's a lake, a river, stream. So I'll probably keep this guy in just in case it were to get cold or chilly nights. This would be pretty good. Nothing fancy. Works as a poncho. It's water resistant, not waterproof. Works as a liner for a sleeping bag too. Whenever you're cold or whenever it's cold temperatures like winter, works as a liner. This goes in. What I do is I just zip it up to where it has that foot box, so I can put my feet in it, and then I lay it over me as a blanket, so it acts like a quilt. Also, I only go to this when it comes to spring, summer, fall because of how hot it is. Sometimes I don't even use this at all. I might use this for overhead protection if I'm on a stealth camp or something for fun. I might not even use that tarp because it has orange on it. I'll just use this guy. You're walking and you scrape your arm, you get a big gash, right? Have something that can fix those things, okay? You don't always have to worry about gunshots and tourniquets if you got shot in the leg and this and that. Like, yeah, that could happen. 100% that could happen. Be prepared for that, okay? Gauze pads for big open wounds. Dangerous like that was actually dangerous. That was a big wound and I was bleeding all over my face. And I had this, right? Fix it right up. Stop the bleeding. And it's bad. It was a very bad cut because you can tell that I still have a scar. It didn't go away, so I have a scar. So it's a bad cut. So have a med kit. Very, very important. Even have scissors. Okay. People that wear tight clothing or a lot of clothing going on their back, you can't take their shirt off. Have something that can cut their clothing. Okay. I don't care if it's Gucci. They're passed out and they got a big cut and they're bleeding out. You want something that can cut the clothing and it can rip it apart so you can get to where the wound is and you can take care of it if you know what you're doing. In this spring, summer, and fall survival kit. No, it's just a kit. It's my fire kit. Okay. Now, what would you need a fire for if it's gonna be hot? 100% water, 100% light. Believe it or not, you got a little bit of light. If you don't have batteries or anything like that to see, you have repellent of bugs, a huge one, mosquitoes, um, animals too, and then food, cook your food. Yes, I could get a little container that has gas, like backpackers do, right? And how the army does as well, and get it like that. But to an extent, I agree with that. I 100% agree with it. But I'm going to always practice survival skills and always resort to that as my method of boiling water, getting food, because if you don't use it, you lose it. That is very true. That is 100% true. I've had, before I even began this, I had about, I want to say, 3 years on and off of testing all these skills out. And then I went like working and chasing the dream, right? And building stuff with people. I, uh, I went about 5 years, 4 or 5 years doing that and just camping and glamping and not really trying to do survival stuff. And yeah, camping, it became easy, right? It became a breeze. I have the chainsaw to cut firewood. I have gas. I have this, right? I'm prepping the way I'm supposed to prep. I'm being prepared, right? In my FJ, I have a whole box just built for camping, and it was always in my bag. It was always in my trunk, right? Spare tire, um, uh, an air pump, battery charger, a jack to lift the vehicle, a proper jack, not the ones that come with the vehicle itself. When you have 30 something inch tires and a lift on the vehicle, the stock jack ain't really gonna lift anything. You do something once, you're not a pro at it. You do something 5 times, you're not a pro at it. You do something 50 times, you're not a pro at it. When you're a pro is when you're in a situation that is actually survival, and then you use the skill and it comes like second nature to you, then I would call somebody a pro. Okay, because that's an actual survival situation. Same thing with being in a hypothermic state, not knowing anything. I had to get the fire started. If I didn't, what would happen? I'll probably freaking lose my hand or get frostbite or something, right? Or end up dying because we were there for 3 days, right? We slept, probably went back in the vehicle to sleep that night again, right? not thinking properly, okay, just giving up. So in actual survival situations, I would want to have the knowledge of survival skills rather than depending on modern technology and then be used to that, accustomed to that. And when I find myself like all the natural disasters happening around the world, you know, how many people have to depend on a group or a couple people that have natural skills, right? How many people have to depend on them rather than everybody depending on themselves, learning all these skills themselves, so nobody has to depend on anyone, not even the government, but they can come together as a community and help each other build, right? And someone has their task and what they know, and if somebody doesn't have that aspect of it, but they got something else, they can, barter and trade, show each other different things, and they can help. They can rebuild. They can make it out. They can survive. They can thrive. Okay, so that's why I'm a firm believer in survival skills. A lot of people and fitness, a lot of people have gone away from that, are too comfortable with comfort and the modern things that life gives us, civilization gives us, which is not wrong. It makes life easier. I understand that. I also indulge in it as well, but I always try to connect back to my roots. Okay, we all started surviving, so we've been told. So when stuff is taken away from us, no biggie. I can still get what I want done. That's where my mindset is. So fire kit, electronics bag, so headlamps, batteries, charger cables, portable charger, microphone stuff in a separate baggie for making videos so I don't lose it and it doesn't get wet. My Gerber knife and then a saw. When it comes to summer, I am 100% going to take both of these out and just bring a machete because that's snakes, right? Chop the heads off the snakes if threatened, right? If they don't want to go away or if they come into my area when I'm sleeping, no second chances. Um, Chopping material, making kindling, stuff like that. A lot of the times you're not going to be chopping, like even right now, you're not going to be chopping stuff like this. A lot of the dead stuff, like you just heard earlier, is going to fall, by then. And so you're going to have a lot of, like, there's a dead tree right here too. And I could chop that down with a machete, right? And a saw, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm still figuring that out again. I'm going to be in shorts. I'm not going to have this on me. I do want to get a bigger saw than this. Um, but I think I might just go with the machete and the knife that's on my neck. I don't know yet. I'm still figuring that out. But right now, I have the knife on my neck, a Gerber, and a saw. Next thing is a windbreaker slash rain rain gear. Light to moderate rain, it would repel. It does bleed in. I don't want to bring a rain jacket because it is hot. Well, the biker rain jacket that I have is actually not that hot. But when I start to move around and do stuff, it does become hot very quickly. Okay, so that's why I'm choosing this. Cordage and stakes for my tarp or my poncho if I'm going to make a shelter. And my pot. I only bring these because I like to look and scan what's ahead. And you're not always going to see everything, and everything's not always going to be clear. And especially looking through these for a long period of time, um, your focus, and your eyes start to hurt a little bit because you're looking through this constantly. And what I'm looking for when I go out is I like to repel, so I'm always looking for ledges, cliffs, and all the ones that I've found so far are boring. I'm not hanging. I'm literally, pushing for the rope to have any weight on it. so I can go faster. But I've been looking for steep ones so I can actually rappel how I want to, right? I enjoy it and it's fun. But also too, I like to bird watch. I like to gain information that's far out in front of me that I can't see. A bucket hat, in a sense, okay, for when it's hotter out. Shemagh, very very versatile, very useful. I can put stuff in this and then wrap it up, not like that, but whatever is going to be in here, wrap it up, tie it around my waist. In case if it's a good ways away, bring my canteen like so, wrap that up in that. It's not going anywhere. Okay, that's not. I could fight off a bear if I had to. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I could fight off. If I had to fight, I could fight. If I had to run, I could run. If I had to jump off of something, I could jump. That's not going anywhere. All right, that's on me. Pretty good. Perfect example. I don't have a map of the area, but I know where I'm at and how to get back. If I don't know what's that way, I found my north and south. My north is that way. Okay, right here. This line right here is my north and south. So that means that that's east, that's west. So if I walk west, I know I got to walk back east to get to the same exact spot. Make sense? If I walk north, I got to walk back south to get back to the same spot. Now, that's just putting it simple, okay? You can mark trees, right? In this case right now, I got to do nothing because I know where I'm at, kind of. I don't know what's all down that way or up over that other ridge. But understanding, and again, without this compass, you can easily navigate with, if you go down a hill, you got to go back up a hill, okay? If I saw a tower coming in, then to get out, I got to see that tower again, okay? I got to go up a hill to see the tower. So when I see that tower, I know that I've gone up the hill, and I know I've gone up the hill because I'll be walking up the hill. Again, this creek bed that's dry behind you, that's an indicator, okay? There's these big indicators on the land. Again, if there's a huge, huge, huge cedar that you walk by and you have not seen another cedar, okay, then that's a huge indicator too. All right, I walked past that cedar when I came in. Now I have to find that cedar to get back out, and I have to walk in the general direction. So understand, if I walk north going this way, I gotta walk south. So I gotta also, in this dry creek bed down here, I gotta come across that too. Right, huge indicator. The same spot. This creek bed goes a long way, so it's not only just a dry creek bed. It is the exact spot that you crossed within that dry creek bed. So there's a green plant down here that has pointy leaves on it. I don't know what that is, but once I see that, and I'll definitely see this set up. But once I see that, I know I'm in the right spot. I know that's the spot that I've crossed. Okay, so a compass is good. It's very important. Also, knowledge, common sense. That's very important as well. If I walk down a hill, I gotta go back up the hill, right? Common sense. If I pass a tower, I gotta, on my way out, I gotta see that tower. Now again, with common sense, if I walk that way and it's thick, I want to leave markers that are eye level. You know, cut a X, cut a check mark, cut just a slash down, one slash down, very easy, one slash down. Expose the bark, face level. Look at that bark, walk to another tree about 10 yards, 20 yards or so, if it's not very dense, and turn back, look at that, find another tree, go on the opposite side of that, right, on the opposite side of the tree and make that other mark. And so what you should do is when you turn back around, you should see those marks very distinctive as you're looking back. So here we go. Notes. I get to a spot that I don't know. Very simple. My northwest line is this way, and I'm about to head. I can take a visual of everything around me. I have a ridge line. I have a funnel that deer take. It goes back down that way. It curves. Everything's going downhill. I'll even say that up here, down, hill. There's a dry creek bed that comes in between, and there's like a peninsula. So I'll do dry creek bed. It goes down. Another dry creek bed that goes around that one. It comes down this way. Land on the other side. Land on this side. Up on this side, it curves down. There's a hill, and then down there's water. There's a little creek, stream. So it may not make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Okay. And then I can write on this of what I see. I can also put a general direction of north and south. So based off what I'm seeing, and it's not drawn to scale, but I can go north, south, east, west. And then if I see a cedar, I could put, okay, right here's a cedar tree. Okay, right here's that green bush that I was talking about. And then right green bush. And then right here above that green bush, here's my camp. Put an X, camp. Okay, now I have a general direction of everything already on this. Right? So as I'm writing stuff down, and then I travel about what I'm doing, and I end up being lost for real, and I camp on my way back, and it's nighttime. If I wanted to, I can make another um, example of the map and try to get as much detail on the other map that I'm going to make, rip that off, and then tie that eye level and stake it into a tree if I had to. So if somebody does come across my path, if I am being looked for and I've gone the wrong way, I've lost my way. It don't matter if you're really good. Dehydration, lack of food, being tired, not that much sleep, being exposed by the elements, all that factors into your mindset and how you function. Okay, so you could be the very, very best, but if you're lacking in anything, this is very important to have to write down. You need to write down, draw another map if you already drew a map, and then put that on a tree. And then also too, what direction did you walk in from this point? So if you are being followed, someone can go find you and help you, um, call out to you, and you may be wandering in circles because you're dehydrated. You don't have no energy. You're confused. My canteen, water, my purified tablets are in my med kit. Get more safe drinking water. And then I took it off the sack that my canteen goes into. I took it off my winter pack and I put it on my. I'm probably gonna change this pack. This is gonna be my, for now. It's my camping pack. The thing I have is orange towel. Have a dry work area, something to stand on when I'm getting into this. When I take my boots off, um, you do have no idea how uncomfortable it is to be sweaty, and then you got inside this and you're moving around, and then sticks and dirt fell off of that onto this, and then it goes inside and you're sleeping without a shirt, or you have a shirt on and you got some dirt touching your skin mixed with sweat. It is very uncomfortable. So something to stand on to get inside of that. Put dry kindling on, like today if I want to get a fire going, put my dry kindling on this. Okay, put it on this. I wouldn't want to use my clothing because you want to keep your clothing when you're out in the bush. You want to keep all your clothing clean and dry as long as possible. Outdoor products pack, and it comes from Walmart. Oh, there's one more pocket. A sharpening stone. Okay, that's my kit. Summer, spring, and fall until it gets cold again. Until it gets to winter time. This is what I'll be carrying. Again, I might change the pack into a 50-liter backpack or 60-liter backpack. I might want to go back to the hiking backpack. It's a hiking backpack from Walmart. It's 50 liters. I've used it many times, and it felt great on me. Very comfortable. Fits very well. Everything's snug and snugs inside of it. So I might go back to that one. I've tried so many backpacks off the internet, off TikTok, off Amazon. Um, so many backpacks, and it's just my style and the way I pack things and what I'm into. Because my kit's always changing. It just doesn't fit the way I want it to. Okay, so I really want to get a new pack, and this can resort to my scouting pack and repelling pack. There's parks and stuff that I'm looking into. There's one by the house not too far away. Um, not the one I could walk to. There's another one that's like about a 30-minute drive, 20-minute drive, and it's a park. They have a river. They do some bass fishing. I think there's trout. I'm not sure if there's trout in there or not, but I may do an overnight over there. I just gotta look up and see if I can camp there, and if I can, then I'll do it overnight in this thing pretty soon, hopefully, and yeah. Then I'll set my tarp up and I'll give you an actual in-depth breakdown. We'll go more into why I set up things the way I do, the best way to set it up, stuff like that. And then you'll see me using it rather than just setting it up. This was just a test of making sure everything's set up. I have everything fits the way it needs to. So when I go and do an actual overnight, I know I have everything prepared, right? I got my cordage prepared. I have extra cordage if I need it for a bigger tree, like I said. So I'm good to go. So do not copy what someone does and just leave your kit right there. Do not take something from somebody's system, put it in your kit, and just leave it there. Spring, summer, and fall setup. This is my kit. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any considerations to make what I should be carrying, leave that in the comments. Different idea how you go about this and what you pack differently in your kit, put that in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. Love to get some insight on what you choose to carry and why you choose to carry what you carry. Not only does that put more information out there, but that gives me information on some things that I may be overlooking or I thought about but just brushed it off like it was had no importance, for how I think. And maybe the way you think and what you would bring may give me a different outlook on why I should consider having that in my kit. If you enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, show me some love. Stay tuned. I have more videos coming out soon. Again, I'm not in the area that I want to be in. Okay. Now, if you don't mind seeing the boring side of these backwoods, then I'll do overnights and stuff like that. But I want to have a little bit more fun. Okay, I want to repel. I want to fish. I want to catch some fish. I want to do some crazy hikes and crazy things. So I need to get back into it. I used to do it all the time. I don't do it as much anymore, but I need to get back into it. So until then, I'll see y'all in the next video.